Let's talk about the fan fret system for a second. How did that come to play for you?
Fan frets, they were invented by Ralph Novak in the mid to late 80s. Mm-hmm. The concept dates back even back to the Renaissance times. And I believe it went away when the sole producer of steel strings at that time died and took the formula with him. How we got involved was through the piano end of things. So I was getting requests for 5-string basses with a B string that would have richness and would have a tension and a tone that would match the other strings. Mm-hmm. Usually on a 5-string bass, it's like the 4 strings are like family. They all sort of fit together. And then the 5th string is like the neighbor down the street. Even with fan frets and with the custom pickups that we make and the wood choices we make, it's still a real challenge to get that B string to fit with the rest of them. The concept of, can you get a bass to have a good B string? It's solvable. They solved it on pianos. What did they do? So I went to piano guys and I asked them, how do you fix this problem? They universally said it's scale length. The bigger the piano, the richer the tone is essentially what it was at. And so then the problem came, okay, so how do we deal with all this extra scale length on a bass and not make something that's just this monster that you can't play? And so that's where the trail went cold for a while until I opened up this Guitar Player magazine and saw this fan fret Klein guitar built for Michael Hedges. So my hero, Steve Klein, built a guitar for my other hero, Michael Hedges, with this new technology called fan frets by Ralph Novak. And it was just like, eureka, that's how you do it. And so it was just a flash. You can build a bass with an extended scale that doesn't screw it up, just by putting the scale where you need it and not putting it where you don't need it. So 2 months later, I met Ralph Novak and I said, Ralph, I think this is a great concept for basses. I'd like to pursue this. And Ralph said, you know what? I want to pursue it on guitars. I'm not really that interested in basses. So why don't you focus on basses and focus on guitars. We'll take it from there. And we shook hands and I went back to Canada, and that was in, I think, July of 1992. Started work on it in the fall of 1992, and I had a prototype on January 13th at 7:30 in the morning. I know it was that time because I had an hour to catch my flight down to Nam.
What a magic meeting with a magic outcome.
Yeah, it was completely serendipitous. I didn't know he was going to be there. He was on the other side of the building, and there was one other guy that I can't remember his name, but he had a 5-string with an extension like on an upright. And so he was playing this low A, and I'd be in the middle of talking to somebody and he hit that low A and I'd have to stop what I was saying to just listen to him. And so that was what sort of gave me that kept it fresh in my mind, because otherwise I might have forgotten. That kept it fresh in my mind, and I made a beeline over to Ralph and talked to him about it because of that.
Wow, that's amazing.